Hello and welcome to the Skeptics Guide to the Universe.
Welcome to Friday.
Today is Friday, July 7th.
How's everyone?
Awesome. Good. How are you guys?
Well,
good.
Jay is on his way to Greece for a vacation, so he won't be here this week or next week. He was on the show this week. He won't be on the show next week. We have two special guests next week. Both Jay and Kara are out of the country.
Yeah.
Jay will be on different continents. Kara will be in Africa. Jay is in Europe. And but we're gonna have two guests. We're gonna have George Schraub and Andrea Jones-Roy. They'll be guest rogues next week.
Woohoo!
We know those people.
That will be fun.
They're gonna be at Nauticon, aren't they? I feel like
yes, they are. They'll be at Nauticon with Ninja Brian and the rest of the SGU.
That's coming together nicely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we have some of the events actually written up, and I'll be sending an email with that to everybody, just so you can kind of keep abreast of what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
That'll be fun. Maybe we'll get a report from Greece from Jay. I don't know. We could see if what's skepticism out and what's the skeptical movement in Greece.
Yeah, I don't know. We've been contacted by skeptics in different places around the world. I don't think we've ever been contacted by skeptics in Greece.
Well, we can check that and see. The old search in mail for Greece. There's going to be a lot of them pop up for our recent discussions about what happened in Greece the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Well, let's see if anything prior to that came up. Well, I look for that.
Well, yeah. While you do that, somebody just said, "Is that a storm outside of Bob's window?"
Yeah.
Can you see back there? It's not really happening at this moment, but it's streamers that were set up on our porch for my birthday party. So when the wind is blowing, the streamers are just kind of flailing in the wind.
I see them,
and it's so funny because it does look like there's something happening out there.
Yeah.
But it's just the wind and the birthday streamers.
The continuation of Bob's birthday. Bob's birth week.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Birth month.
That's
it.
So what else are you guys up to recently?
Let's see.
Surviving the unseasonably warm weather.
Woo, it's hot. Hottest day ever the other day, right?
Yeah.
Yikes.
Was it ranked the hottest week in 100,000 years or something? I saw that somebody emailed us it.
How could they
100,000?
How could
I
they
was like,
know
I don't know
that?
if they
I don't know
can
if they could know that.
specifically, but that's what some reporting was out there. Correct if I was wrong, chat. If we're wrong.
I mean, from what I've been reading, it's like since records have been kept, that sort of thing.
Yeah, that's
probably
typically the range. So 1800s typically.
I'm sure there were weathermen in the caves drawing little weather maps.
Yeah, that's right.
7-day forecast.
So Jenny asks if I found my laptop cord. The answer is no.
Oh, wasn't it your mom's?
I had to Amazon it. That thing just dropped into a subdimension. It's gone. I just ordered a new one from Amazon. $13. Took 2 days. Amazon, in many ways, is awesome. Had it in 2 days. It was pretty simple and cheap. $13. I mean, what? I should have got one just to have a backup.
Yeah,
2 years ago.
Yeah, the same thing happened to me where I lost my laptop cord, got a backup, found it. Now I got a backup.
Back up.
Yeah.
Bag it up as long as it's it's the right voltage, the right connector, all that good stuff.
Yeah, I got a universal one.
Are there such things?
Well, apparently. It said it was compatible with my laptop, but it was compatible with a bunch of different laptops. It wasn't proprietary to the one that I had.
Yeah. It's the kind of thing you don't necessarily want to chance if you're not confident, I think I'll plug this into the laptop and see what might happen. And then
Yeah, no, I agree.
So back up everything if you're ever gonna try that. Make sure everything's backed up.
Right.
To external drives. Or the cloud.
Do you back up your stuff to the cloud?
Some stuff is cloud backed. Most of many of my PDFs and other things are externally stored.
Yeah, my phone is, and Google Drive's got important videos and pictures and documents.
Yeah. Let's hope Google doesn't ever suffer a cataclysmic failure. Right? Ooh, I said it right, Ian. Bad.
Well,
bad.
They've been kind of hamstringing us with all the content that we have. We have terabytes upon terabytes. I think we have over 50 terabytes up in the cloud. And so they used to be free range. You could upload as much as you want. They've kind of shut that down. So now we have a limit. So
we'll
have to go back and delete stuff.
Yeah, we should just delete all our old episodes.
Yeah. The video stuff. Kind of
you have them somewhere, right?
Yeah, it's on YouTube. Those guys can pay for it, which is also Google.
But we upload all of our raw files.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I still have pretty much all my raw files. I probably don't need those really anymore.
Yeah.
Separated out audio files from 2005 that far back.
I keep
pretty much.
I do. I've kept a bunch of stuff.
That's good actually. Somebody wants to auto transcribe all the stuff, and it would be good if we separated it out.
Wow. Wouldn't that be lifetime work?
It would be, but hey,
we've been exploring that, and there was somebody who said they're gonna maybe work with us to write a script. But basically, what do you think about this? So imagine if we could go from an episode to a transcript, right? So you basically have an AI listen to the show and create a transcript from the audio, right?
Okay.
Then you can use an AI to translate it into a different language.
Yeah.
Right, and then you use an AI to do the voice thing. Remember we did on the live show?
Yep.
So basically, convert it back again to audio, so you could have the podcast. Well, you could have the podcast in our voices in a different language, like we would be speaking Spanish or whatever.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, we could do that.
I like that idea.
If I don't have to do it, I love it.
No, the whole. I mean, obviously, it would have to be all automated. We can't. If there's any.
Why don't we just write? We could just write the show every week in English.
Gosh, forget that.
And then be done. then have that converted into English in our voices.
That would be like about 100 times harder, if not more.
Yeah.
We need those subtle Evan puns that are just like snuck in.
Right? Where the hell are those going to
do
come
that?
from?
How are you going to
script? That is, I am unscripted. I am unshackled.
But guys, we are getting close to what I just described being possible.
Oh yeah, certainly.
Yeah, I know.
What do you mean, man? It's possible right now for sure. It's not easy to pull it off.
It's clunky.
It's absolutely possible.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's no limit. Yeah, the technology exists. Everything is current technology, right? Nothing new. You don't have to invent anything new.
Yeah, but here's the thing. The question is, would it be able to do it with the podcast, the full podcast, or would it need the separated tracks? That's what reminded me of it when Ian said that. Because if it could do it with just the podcast, like, and the AI knows whose voice is whose, right? That's sort of critical.
Well, you could train that, couldn't you?
Then
the audience doesn't know who's who.
Yeah, everybody sounds like Jay or Bob anyway, right?
I would think
all Jay Bob.
I would think it would be fairly accurate, determining who's who.
You think so?
Yeah,
especially after some training.
Well, learning, right? Yeah, I mean, it would.
Well, I actually did a little bit of a test because I've been doing some work with the older episodes, and you know how like the first 20 episodes were kind of rough, if you guys recall, from 2005.
No,
they were pretty distorted.
Not my memory at all.
Never mind, they were perfect. They were pretty distorted in a lot of stuff. So I ran it through an AI. I don't have it, but it essentially cloned your voices and then tried to make it better sounding. It's pretty funny. Bob doesn't sound anything like Bob. Steve sound pretty good. But Bob was like a whole nother person. I'll get it for next week.
That's cool. That would be a neat experiment.
But it definitely cleared it up, but it's funny. Was the audio too compressed? I think it was like everybody was using headset mics, right? Back in the day.
Well, when we started, we'd go, hey, let's do a podcast. Let's buy $5,000 worth of equipment and start doing a podcast from episode 1. We did it with we were basically using $20 microphones. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I didn't know what I was doing with the song. I don't think I was doing any kind of compression or anything. You know, I was just, we recorded it and that was it. You know what I mean? I would put it together. I was doing very little post-production.
Yeah.
And then it evolved over the first couple of years. There was a pretty steep curve in terms of me learning what to do and talking to audio engineers and getting advice, you know what I mean. And then the voice leveling that didn't come in until 6 or 7 years ago, because I tried voice levelers and they were terrible.
Yeah.
And then when I started doing the voice leveling, when Adobe Audition had that as a feature, and it worked really well. I'm like, okay, now I'll start doing it on the show. Before that, I was doing a little compression, which helped a little bit, but didn't really levelize. I started doing noise removal at some point. I mean, I always was doing noise removal. I mean, I can't remember, when did I start doing noise removal? Probably not like that first, not that first year. But probably,
I could probably find it actually, because I've been listening to a lot of them.
So now, when I do noise removal on every track individually, right? And then once it's all combined together, I do a high and low filter, right? So it eliminates any noises outside the vocal range. And then I do the voice leveling. And that's, I think it's, and then I do we just added the fourth thing. I do the sound leveling to.
What exactly happens during voice and sound leveling?
So voice leveling, it basically creates a zone in which all voices will be in terms of volume, so that anything below that it raises up, and anything above it brings down. So it basically it reduces the amount of variance in the volume of everybody's voice. I was just always visually leveling. You know what I mean? I could see on the tracks how loud, like Evan's like this big and Bob is this big, so I make it so they all look about the same. And then so that's like the first pass. Then I still do that. I make it so the tracks basically look like they're at the same volume. And then as I'm editing, if anyone's voice drops out or anything, whatever, I'll fix that. Like Bob's, you're famous for that. Bob will just turn away and start talking over here. So then I will, amplify, or somebody gets very loud for some reason. They start getting excited, and talking very loud.
Getting emotional.
So I basically will, try to to level that to some extent as well, but that doesn't quite do it. It sounds good to me on my headphones that I'm wearing right now. But then when you do the like Adobe Audition leveling, it really brings everything into level. So that's basically the process, and then to do the couple layers of noise removal, and it's I think it's fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, I did none of that shit 18 years ago. I wasn't doing any of that.
I think the first episode you yelled at Perry to get closer to the mic. He was like,
"Yes, you did. That's in the episode."
And he's like, "Perry, get close to the mic."
No, I think he was He was breathing into the mic. He was breathing.
Oh yeah. I think you yelled at him for that, and then he was breathing back. So that's a fun one. So yeah, head back to that episode. You want to hear?
Now you regret it to this day.
Right.
You have Perry's raw tracks, right?
I do. I don't know that I managed to hold on to every year because I don't throw anything away, right? So I have everything. However, it's 18 years, so there have been several computer migrations.
Yeah.
And multiple hard drive migrations over those time. There may have been a year here or there where they didn't make the transition.
Oh my God.
The thing about it, I have a 16 terabyte hard drive just to back up like all the SGU
audio. Yeah, that's audio. A lot for audio.
I was just looking the other day because I just got as Bob and Jay know, so last week, not this week, but last week, I couldn't get my microphone to work. I think my USB, something happened, and for whatever the USB connectors in the back of my computer became really noisy, and so my microphone goes into an audio box and then goes through USB. So that's the only connection of the audio to the desktop. So it was just noisy. I couldn't get rid of it. I had to record on my laptop. Then I was able to get it to work for this week, but I have to go through the front USB port. So I guess it's a completely different USB card, and that worked, but it's a pain in the ass. So I ordered I have to install it. Maybe I'll install it tonight. I ordered a USB-C card.
Oh,
and I got the new Scarlett. I haven't even opened the box yet.
I don't give a damn.
Good,
which is USB-C to USB-C. So this will be a much more robust connection, and it'll be it'll be like 10 times the throughput of what I'm using right now. Yes, Bob is using a new chair. I bought him a chair for his birthday because his old chair was squeaky, and I got him a new
squeaky baby.
Bob, what'd you do with the squeaky chair?
That's what we used to connect our microphones.
Focusrite. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is the generation 3. We're using the Gen 2. The Gen 3 has USB-C connectors. So I'll connect it then to a new USB-C connector in the back of my computer. I'm hoping that will all work. Maybe it'll even bump up my sound quality a little bit. If we could notice a difference in the sound quality, we can get everybody one because it's only $120. It's not that much.
Does that now say that it is USB-C, not Thunderbolt, right? Because that's technically the same.
Oh, Thunder, right? Yeah. I got
because there is a spec.
I bought something.
I looked it up.
Yeah.
USB-C.
Okay, good. Because the spec sometimes it's like the same form factor, but
Thunderbolt
doesn't actually work.
Yeah. Although I think this works with both.
Yeah, it probably does at this point, but there was a time when that wasn't true.
Yeah.
Anyway,
that's the saga. It's pretty much it's not bad actually. This is one of the stressors doing the show is that for 5 people, their audio needs to work every week. Everyone's audio needs to work, and it's it's not uncommon for there to be glitches and stuff. It's very, last week was a rare instance where I was the technical problem.
It's can hardly remember another time.
Well, I troubleshooted. Oh, so here it is. Pretty good.
Once in 18 years.
Yeah.
Ooh, fancy.
It's fancy. So you could see it has a USB-C connector. See that?
I can see that.
Yeah.
See, baby.
And yeah, this is just a single input. We had our older ones are dual
That's right,
input.
Miguel. Thank you.
We only need one. I
Yeah.
don't need a dual input. And this way I'll keep the other one, Ian, as a backup for the studio or something.
Yeah, that's what we should do.
Yeah. Because it's still working. I isolated the problem to my desktop USB drive. So anyway.
I'm using the SM7B. That's probably why it sounds really good. And I'm right up on it. That's
really, the
probably
one thing that hasn't changed, I think, Steve, for these 19 years, I think we've been using it pretty much the whole time, is Audacity.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's free.
Right.
Isn't that remarkable?
Mm-hmm.
Remarkable.
It's a great piece of software.
It is dynamite.
You know what it is? And I do all my editing on Audacity because it's exactly as sophisticated as I need it to be.
Mm-hmm.
I tried doing it in Adobe Audition because Audition has more bells and whistles. It's a more robust. It's a better piece of software.
It's too much.
But it's too much. It's not just that I can't. I mean, I know how to use it well enough to do the show on it. It was just that because it has a lot more functionality, it's not quite as easy to do simple things. Like, you know what I mean? So anyway, Audacity does it like exactly what I needed to do without being too complicated or having too many bells and whistles. Then I import it into Adobe Audition and do the final, stuff that Adobe does well, that better than Audacity, like the voices level. I do that in Adobe Audition, and also I use that to save it down to MP3, which you can do in Audacity, but I just think Adobe is better. So I get the best of both worlds. I get the editing simplicity of Audacity and the bells and whistles of Audition at the end, which is good.
Yeah.
Yep.
Do you guys remember? This is going back
probably
15 years.
Oh boy.
14, 15 years.
Recording on tape?
No, my God. We got this. This is like one of the weirdest emails we got. We got this email from this guy.
Oh, you have it? Okay, let's hear it.
I just remember the email. I don't know. I might have it. And he was like very awkwardly offering to help with the audio quality of the show. And he's like, I can improve the audio quality of your show. I need each of you to send me 5 minutes of room noise on your track every week. he just like, he wasn't asking. He was just like telling us to do this. Send me 5 minutes or 15 minutes or something ridiculous. Like send me 15 minutes of room noise on your track.
I don't remember saying that. I mean, what?
Yeah. And then like 6 hours later, we got another email that said, I retract my offer.
This offer has expired.
This offer is self-destruct.
What the hell are you talking about, dude?
Oh boy, people. Takes all sorts. That
Ultra scuzzy.
His heart was maybe in the right place, but not his brain. So
I don't know. I don't know. It was just weird. Yeah, I mean, whatever. We could speculate about his personality quirks, but
we get some doozies sometimes.
Right.
We used to get emails regularly. I mean, regularly from, was it Michael Horn?
Yeah,
Michael.
I still get an occasional.
Oh, do you still get those? I don't get
Still.
those. I fell off of his list.
Yeah, Michael Horn is like the self-proclaimed press whatever agent for Billy Meyer.
Billy Meyer,
The Swiss UFO hoaxer.
Oh my
and this guy is I don't know how delusional he is versus just a straight up liar. Like he's one of those guys like he pushes the delusional thing to such an extent. Like as we always say, it's a combination of the two. I think he's just a complete bullshitter. You know what I mean? Like he just doesn't care about if he's being internally consistent or fair or it doesn't really matter. He probably believes to some extent, all the nonsense, but he's so invested in it by now. There's absolutely no way for him to be intellectually honest.
These weren't just 1 or 2 paragraph emails. These were like multi-page screeds that he would fire
really
at
annoying.
us and so many other, skeptic podcasts out there. And it would go on. And I printed one once. I printed one of them. I think it was like about 14 pages. That it came out. Can you imagine and he would do this on a regular basis. Like he would set his calendar. Okay, it's the 2nd of the month. It's time to, to annoy everybody.
Like I remember, again, I thought if I think I can get content out of something, then I'll engage. So, like one of the funniest Billy Meyer videos. It's a classic flying saucer, right? It's like
the disc,
the disc,
right?
Like nothing even remotely interesting about it, and it's literally swinging like a pendulum from a string, right?
Yeah, straight out of
childish. It's childish.
Ed Wood, yeah,
like Ed Wood would blow it away in terms of the quality of the special effects. And his argument was that, the point of fixture would have to have been within the frame, right? So it's like, well, that's how their anti-gravity works, right? It makes it look exactly like it's dangling from a string.
Oh my gosh.
Or it's dangling from a string.
Basically, the universe bends to the will of
it can't be dangling from a string because the anchor point would have been within the frame, right? It would have been here. And I'm like, well, that didn't look right to me. So I did way more than I had to do. I printed out each frame of the video. And then I
found the anchor point. That's awesome.
Drew a line perpendicular to the horizontal axis of the saucer, right?
Yeah.
And then I just kept doing that until I found the intersection of all the lines, which of course is the anchor point, and it was way above the frame.
Of course it was.
Which it looked like, but I'm like, I proved to you that the anchor point is above the frame. And his response was something to the effect like, I know, that's what I'm saying.
Oh
I'm
my
like,
what? Oh my. Yeah, this is
what?
You fell for my trap.
Exactly. I wasted your time. Mission succeeded.
I mean, I got an article, got a blog post out of it, but I mean, it was, God, what a joke. He's also the guy who had the wedding cake UFO. I don't know if you guys are familiar with this.
I don't recall.
It's a flying saucer, but it's like 2 layers. So it's a flat disc, and it's like a hat. It almost looks like a sombrero, right?
Right.
But one of the doodads that he had attached to it fell off and was laying on the bottom section. I mean, it was
awesome.
It was unbelievable.
Oh my gosh. I remember something about there was an image, a television image, like go-go dancers on a TV screen from the 60s, and somehow this was an alien.
So yeah, there were the 2 aliens who had taken on human form, right? So basically, he provided a picture of the 2 female aliens, and a researcher was able to match that photo to a television show where they were, I think, they were like background dancers or something. And he literally took a picture of the TV.
Right. That's
where he got the picture. And I brought that up to Michael Horn too. And he, again, it was like the most ridiculous special pleading. Or, so one of the other things that they will do is they will dive down to really minute details. You know what I mean? Like they get way more detailed than they can get. But so it's like, no, if you measure the distance between her eyes or something, it's like it's off by a little bit. So it's not that. Look at them. It's the freaking same people.
Oh my gosh.
But they're just trying to get down into the noise. You know what I mean?
Biometric evidence.
Yeah.
Nice try.
Yeah, nice try. Meanwhile, like you could see as plain of day, the guy took a fucking picture of the television set. That's the level of evidence that we're dealing with. And this guy, Michael Horn, is his apologist.
You would otherwise think this is parody. It's a big joke that
it is kind of self-parody. Like you can't make fun of it because it's as ridiculous. There's no more ridiculous to go to. Like it's maximal ridiculousness.
But this is their world. I mean, really, this is their reality. That is wow. That's something else.
Screw that guy.
Well, I stopped getting emails from him. Maybe if he's watching now, I'll get one.
He's probably on TikTok.
Yeah, probably.
Speaking of which, I don't know. Some people sent this to us, but there was that airplane freak out. Did anybody see that on TikTok?
Oh, I read an article. I didn't watch the video.
So yeah,
there's
this
had an incident on a plane.
And it's blowing up obviously on TikTok, and I don't think it's one that we would do on Wednesdays, because it's kind of just like she's having kind of an episode or something like that.
Yeah, it sounds like mental illness is what.
But it's but it's more that it's like everybody's then glomming onto it and saying, "Oh, well, she saw a lizard person" or something to that effect.
Right.
That it's
there was the person she saw was in disguise, like a they live kind of situation.
Yeah, like she says it's that this person in the back is not real or something to that effect.
Right.
And so, all the conspiracy theorists, it's blowing up on TikTok, of course, and other platforms, but it's like, well, what did she see? What if it is a reptilian lizard person? I have it here. Actually, this one is one guy who, like, really, if we want to look at it just for a moment.
All right.
It's one of the larger ones that blew up. It's like a couple million views on it.
Okay, all right, so this is a mystery to me. Now, I've seen this video in several places, and I've checked it out, I've researched it, and it's hard to tell what's going on. I'm going to show you several different aspects.
Stop right there.
I think.
Yeah, hold on. Yeah.
Steve, what do you think's going on here?
Not real. Somebody says, leave people why global warming. So they don't.
Well, but I mean, the incident was real.
Sure.
I mean, but Steve, I mean, there must be many cases of people having delusions, and
I mean, it could be somebody with mental illness. Absolutely. I have no idea. I mean, it could be complete fake. It could.
Can medications produce visual hallucinations like something that someone like that would describe or have an incident?
That usually you're more likely to have them when you're off your medications.
Off your meds, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it depends on what kind of medication you're talking about.
I just don't know if there are some that have a side effect to that.
Yeah.
Some
along
do.
Those lines.
Some do.
Yeah, this guy kind of actually like presents a somewhat reasonable argument and then immediately flips it to like,
oh gosh.
So maybe we'll just listen
possibly
to
be going on. I believe she saw something, and she believes with all her heart she saw this person, whichever person it was she was referring to, and that she believes that this person is something else. Could it be a reptilian? Could it be a shapeshifter? Well, let's watch the video again and check this out. Okay.
I'm telling you, I'm getting the fuck off, and there's a reason why I'm getting the fuck off, and everyone can either believe it or they cannot believe it.
Now check this out. What do you think? Maybe one of these? I don't know. Maybe possibly one of these people? When I first saw it, I doubted it, and the reason why I doubted it is because they claimed that she was drunk. So the first thing I thought of, being a recovering alcoholic myself, was maybe she's having withdrawals and DTs, because one of the episodes from withdrawals or DTs is hallucinations, and you see things. Had it happen to myself many years ago, and so she could be going through that. But then I noticed her composure. She wasn't in that type of shape. So no, you can throw that out the window. And then I thought, hey, maybe a shapeshifter, maybe something that we've been talking about for a long time is what she saw. Because when she got to really hollering and fussing about this, if you notice, she got almost choked up over this. This woman was sincerely upset. So I'm going to go with my gut feeling and say, whoever it was, and one of those images that I showed you, I'm telling you, she saw something that blew her mind, and I believe with all my heart that we have them among us. Is that what she saw? Did she see a reptilian? Because I am almost convinced that's what she saw.
So, yeah.
Based on nothing.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a pretty quick turn that he made from, it's like, well, people have withdrawal symptoms, but I think It's a reptilian.
I wonder why reptilian. In other words, reptilians come up regularly in UFO and ET, just culture and discussions, and this has been happening for many, many decades. Shapeshifters and these sorts of things. But I wonder why do you think reptilian as opposed to, I don't know, like avian or or some or aquatic something, right?
Fish.
Wonder why reptilian is it? Are there similarities?
Well, they're not cuddly. They've got this kind of like creepy vibe to a lot of people. That might be maybe the basis.
Yeah, it's also, I think, just contingent on like that's what. Yeah, it was reported,
and it took off. Flying saucer was the whole idea of a saucer.
Right? Isn't David Ice's whole thing about reptilian
misidentification?
Yeah, Ike.
David Ice, whatever his name.
Whatever. Yeah.
His whole thing is that it's all lizard people as well, and
lizard people.
That guy dates back to the 90s. I think we started watching his crazy stuff.
Yeah.
And not the first, not the last, but always, there's, and certainly science fiction has played that up as well in several cases.
Yeah, somebody just said it. It's like eventually it always gets down to anti-Semitism. It seems like.
Oh gosh,
along the way, they just fold that in. They're like, oh well, I'll take a little bit of that, sprinkle that in. Oh. Yeah, crazy. So
right, why not fish people, Tor? Exactly.
Yeah. What's wrong with fish people?
Yeah. There was the aquatic
crab people.
But that's a whole other bag of fish.
There's fish aliens in Dungeon Crawler Carl series that I'm reading. But then again, there's lots of aliens in that story, which is highly, highly recommended, by the way.
Do they communicate in a nitrogen oxygen medium, or does it have to be?
No, they've got like special
bowl heads.
One of them actually did.
Yeah, it's the classic fix for that problem.
Yeah, the fish bowl on top of the head.
Yeah. Yep. Got to protect the head. Always protect your head. Martial arts 101. Protect your head.
I love what was it? The Umbrella Academy, where one of the characters was a goldfish in a bowl on top of the head of a robot.
Yeah.
That was awesome. That was awesome.
Neat.
Yeah.
One more season coming out.
Yeah, when's it coming out?
I don't know, man.
That's a good show. Really, really creative.
Yeah. The lead singer of My Chemical Romance wrote the comics.
Oh yeah,
that inspired that. Yep.
Cool.
What else?
Well, I mean, there's plenty of other TikToks that we have through, but I mean, we've been kind of holding back on the game stuff or quizzes over the last couple weeks. I mean, we've been off for a couple. I mean, we could jump to Jeopardy unless we have any other topics people want us to talk, but or we could do that now and then maybe we'll get.
You have a Jeopardy, Evan?
Discord.
I do. This one was from a while back, which I never used. I just dusted it off today and threw today's date on it. And
yeah, why don't we do a little bit of that, and then maybe we'll go to questions if people want to ask questions in the Discord. Of course, the live stream channel is there, and the mods will pin them.
And you, the viewer, can play at home, keep your own score, and
is like super excited
with this. And I will. I guess I'll keep score for the guys here: Ian, Bob, and Steve.
Oh boy.
And let's see. So I got 4 categories, and as you know,
quick. Yeah, I just had to pull it up so now you can see.
So I prepare this for my other podcast, Which Game First, a board game podcast, in which we play Jeopardy with our live audience on Monday evenings. And the particular game that we played that night was called Tranquility: The Ascent. So that's what I do. I take usually the words, if I can, of the name of the game, and I turn them into Jeopardy categories. And then I have a fourth, hodgepodge category. In this case, it's called Mishmash. So we have Tranquility, The Ascent, and Mishmash.
You went with the.
I went with the. Yeah. Well, it was in the title. I mean. All right, Steve, you answered first. Therefore, you get to choose the first category.
Tranquility.
Oh,
for how much?
200.
The name of the
On the
largest
moon?
ocean.
Tranquility Bay.
Oh, Tranquility.
The name of the largest ocean.
Oh,
Pacific.
Pacific.
Yeah, Steve got it. It is. Let's see. How do I do? Pacific. Yes.
What does that have to do with tranquility?
Yeah.
I was like,
Pacific. Tranquility. No.
oh, it's just
Oh.
tranquil.
I gotcha.
Too far.
Yeah.
A bridge too far. All right, you got
Good.
it, Steve.
400 tranquility.
You like going in order,
Mhm.
and that's okay. Calm, cool,
Collected.
and this.
Collected.
Ian
Yeah, Ian got
gets it. Collected.
Wait, what? Can
Collect,
you
calm,
guys
cool,
hear me?
collected.
Calm,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah,
Did you
they
say it,
collected?
Bob? I heard Ian first.
Oh, okay. I think Bob. No, if you want
Are
to,
you on delay? Maybe Bob's delayed.
I meant no. I think it cut him off. I think I heard Ted. So if you said it, give it to Bob. Give it to Bob.
Give it to Bob.
Yeah, because
I mean,
I did say it after Bob.
All right. Fortunately, I can fix the score here.
Yeah, it's all
I
right.
have that power. All right, Bob, it's all you.
600.
Tranquility for 600. Tranquil Lake is located on these islands near Antarctica, but don't let its Scottish name fool you.
Oh boy.
It's not the Aleutians.
This was a hard category.
That's what I was thinking, Steve.
Not the Aleutians.
Yeah,
Don't
one of
let
those
its
islands near Antarctica.
Scottish name fool you.
Scottish.
See if anyone else is coming up with it. Not the Falklands.
Edinburgh. I don't know. I'm just like.
And let's see if anyone else.
Is there
Ross,
an Edinburgh
no.
Island?
Nova Scotia. No. We got an Antarctica.
Mick
Wrong
Island.
hemisphere.
Somebody's Mick Islands.
They are the
Isn't
South
that the O Island?
Orkney Islands.
South Orkney Islands.
South Orkney Islands.
Wow.
All right. So
No
nobody
worries.
gets points on that one. Moving on. Bob.
800.
At this place, Node 3 is nicknamed Tranquility.
No.
At this place, Node 3.
No, where's Node 3, Bob and Steve? You guys know this.
Oh, the moon? I mean, or is it the
Not the moon.
in orbit? Those crap.
Lagrange points. Lagrange.
Oh,
Yeah.
Ian. God.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. I got it wrong.
No.
But it's nicknamed Tranquility?
It's nicknamed Tranquility. At Node 3. It's
The ISS is nicknamed? Oh, Node 3 is.
I forgot. I forgot even what the answer was. That's why I thought you were right. But yeah.
Oh, psych.
All right.
L.
All right.
L.
Tranquility for 1,000. You want to kill the
Yes.
kill the category?
Yeah, let's
Kill
go.
it.
All right. A state of psychological stability and composure, undisturbed by emotions or pain.
Equanimitable.
Ooh.
Equanimity.
Equanimity?
Bob. Equanimity for Bob.
Oh, I said equanimitable. That's what
Well,
I
what do you
went
think?
to.
What do you think?
That's
Give
fine.
it- give
He
it to
said.
Ian?
He said it. He said the accurate thing. Accurate.
Ian and Bob both get it. How about that?
He
All
was
right.
close enough.
Mm-hmm.
Because I screwed up on the Tranquility 800, so I'll give you each 1,000.
All right, thank you.
All right, but I'll give Ian control of the board.
All that matters.
All right, let's go the 200.
200.
No, for June.
All right, this book was written by Mario Puzo, and the movie starred Marlon Brando.
The Godfather.
Yes, The Godfather.
Very good.
Very good.
Yeah.
See how the works? Okay.
Wait, who got that one?
Steve got it.
I think
Oh my
Steve got
God, guys!
Oh, Godfather.
I'm sorry, but there's a
Did you
delay
say it
here.
first?
You have a
I
delay?
think it's just cutting your mic because we have headphones on and you don't. I think it's just cutting it.
Use your mic. Yeah.
All right.
you get
Let's
closer
just
to
be. Let's listen to Bulb more.
All right. I'll
I'll
try to.
I'll raise my finger when I am very confident and I
Okay.
answer.
All right. I'll try to look for that. I have to put the screen to a different part of the screen. Okay. Steve, what do you want? 400?
Yeah, 400.
English rock band.
The Beatles.
formed-
Beatles.
I heard Steve first.
I
Am
think
right?
Steve was first.
I
Yeah, Steve
totally
was
got
first.
that one first.
Yeah.
By a nanosecond.
Yeah.
All right, Steve.
Let's
Surprise
do
us.
Ascent for 200.
Oh, thank you for
Ooh,
surprising us.
switching.
Ascent. This fictional boxer
Rocky Balboa.
Yes, ascended
Yeah,
the stairs
good.
in Philadelphia. That's right, Ian. Rocky Balboa.
I better get that. Or my...
We were
Oh,
in
oh,
Philadelphia
kill me.
before you go on, Evan. We were in
Yeah.
Philadelphia with my family, and we were at the top of those stairs. And I'm
Mm.
like, wait a minute, aren't these the Rocky Balboa stairs? And they were all like, no, you don't know what you're talking about. Like, no, this isn't from the movie, right?
Mhm.
And And it turns out they were, and the confirmation was there was a statue of Rocky Balboa.
That's
at the bottom of the stairs. Like, see, I was right. These are the stairs.
How'd the whole family miss the statue standing there?
All right, 400.
No, wait, didn't I get it?
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Oh, no, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
Diving.
Don't ascend too quickly
Diving.
doing this.
Yeah, Bob got it.
I heard
Bob got
Bob
Yeah,
say
okay.
it.
Bob's
I'll
paying
give it to him.
attention.
Deep sea diving.
All right, Bob.
Bob.
Let's do ascent for 1,000.
Ooh, thanks, Bob, for mixing it up.
Frogging.
All right. His ascent took 2.5 hours, and his descent took about 10 minutes.
That guy who skydived.
Yes.
The Red Bull dude, the guy from
Yes.
space.
Yeah, right.
What's his
what was
name?
his name?
I don't know. He's probably Swedish. I don't know.
No,
was
he's
he?
not,
No,
actually. No.
I don't know.
Joe Bag of
I think
Donuts.
Joe Bag. If Jay was here, he would say Haywood. But
Yeah, he was.
We don't know it. What's his name?
Alessandro's
Red Bull
correct.
dude.
Baumgartner. Felix Baumgartner.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
Felix
that's
Baumgartner.
Remember that guy?
I never would
I
have come up with
never
that name, but I
would've-
recognize it.
Dang.
I never
Yeah.
would have dredged that up from my memory banks.
Yeah.
Bob, you still control this board.
Let's do 800 ascent.
All right. Given its location and conditions, it's estimated that it would take a climber about 6
What
months.
is the
Mount
Mount Everest?
Mons Olympus.
Yes, Bob.
Yeah, he said
Oh.
Mons,
Olympus
Mons.
Mons. 6 months to ascend
What?
that crazy. That's what it would take. They said. Given
Why is
the
it like
conditions.
sheer
Well,
vertical
isn't that
or something?
amazing? That's how big that mountain.
But that's
is.
got to be allowing time for acclimation. Which
I would think so.
It doesn't make sense if you're on Mars because you could
6
no way
months.
you could acclimate. You got to be in a spacesuit the whole time.
Mhm.
Mm.
I don't know.
To go 70,000 feet, I think, into
Let's
up from
do
the.
let's do
That's
mishmash
crazy.
for 200.
All right, mishmash 200, red plus white.
What do you think?
Pink.
Steve,
Oh, Steve.
quick, get it.
Wait, I don't think that was even English.
Yeah, he said, what is-
It was English enough.
400.
'Tis better to have loved.
Then not to have
than
loved at
lost.
all.
Yes, Steve. Then never
I
to have
was ahead
loved.
of you, Bob.
Were
Yeah, he
ya?
was.
Yes, he
All
was.
All right.
He jumped
was
in
close,
there with that
though. It was
broken
close.
English again.
Yeah.
600.
600. The third most abundant gas in the atmosphere after
Carbon
nitrogen.
dioxide.
Oxygen. No, it's not carbon dioxide.
After night. Wait, the third most abundant is after nitrogen.
Not methane. The third one, that's a good choice, actually.
What's the third one?
Nitrogen,
Argon.
methane.
Argon? Now I'm trying to remember what the hell the answer was.
Some
But
inert
CO2,
gas.
huh?
Some
Not
inert-
helium. It's not helium.
No, it's
No.
not hydrogen helium. It's
Steve might be
nitrogen,
right.
oxygen.
Yeah, if it's not CO2,
argon.
then it's argon.
It's got to be argon.
It is argon.
Very
good,
good.
Steve. I gave you the points. Very good.
Mishmash for 800.
All right. A high-level, class-based, object-oriented programming language that is designed to
JavaScript?
have as few. Oh, Ian, to have as few implementation dependencies as possible. That is Java.
Well,
And
technically,
Ian-
Java is a little bit different, but okay, yeah, it's JavaScript.
No,
That's-
that I looked.
that's
I
close
looked up. I saw the definition. I pulled that. I believe me. I did not write that. I pulled that from the
that's true.
source
true.
online. So that's what they're saying. You can argue with them. Ian.
Yeah, that's true.
It was
It's
them.
Yeah.
programming versus scripting, but it's like it's fine.
Oh, this is a
It's
close
fine.
game. All right, Ian, you got this.
Oh, let's go the 800, just to be weird.
All right. In the
Oh,
game
Lord,
Dungeons and Dragons,
I'm done.
it is considered.
The Trask.
Beholder.
Wait, Bob, did you say it first?
Beholder.
No,
You
it's
said
not
Beholder.
Beholder. Steve is right. In the game Dungeons and Dragons, it's considered the most terrible creature known to inhabit the prime material plane, and it is called the Tarask.
Oh, geez.
And
Oh, I
and it
remember
is
that.
the because it is unique. There is but one. You can't have
Mhm.
several of these, which makes you
It's an apex predator.
that lives forever and never dies out and has no descendants. But okay,
Oh my God, I haven't heard that term in so long. Tarask. Holy shit.
Tarask. Okay, it's a close game.
Ascent for 600.
The last ascent. The rate of increase in prices over a given
Inflation.
period of time.
Yeah.
Steve, did I hear you say inflation?
No, I got it first.
I think Bob got it. I saw.
Absolutely.
I was
Bob
looking
got
at
it.
the video.
Inflation.
No doubt.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for being my ears with Bob's
Yeah, I was looking at his video.
challenging
actually.
audio. Let's just put
Yeah.
it that way. All right, Bob. You're in the lead. You control this.
Let's do the for 600.
Okay.
Its Gothic style Binnenhof or inner court complex is the seat of the Dutch Parliament.
I don't know. The Hague. That's not even in.
Oh, very good, Ian.
It isn't?
You got it. The
Oh my
Hague.
gosh.
Wow, nice.
That was I totally pulled that out.
Well done.
Nice.
Ooh, Ian, okay, there's two left for
I just
1,000. This
knew
will
one
this will
thing.
determine which one.
Oh Lord. Okay, let's go mishmash.
Mishmash for 1,000. You know it'll be difficult, maybe.
I know.
Difficult.
An American brand of fruit-flavored, pink-colored bubble gum invented in
What
1928.
is Hubba Bubba Bazooka
Oh,
Joe? Bazooka.
Was it
What
Bazooka?
is Hubba Bubba?
Not Hubba Bubba.
zebra
Yuppa.
stripe. I don't know what that is. Oh no, what's the one with the comics in it? Is that Hubba Bubba?
Baseball
Bazooka.
bubblegum. No. Is that it? Baseball
Uh,
card? Baseball card bubblegum?
Not the baseball card bubble gum.
Damn.
All right, it's too long.
I think it was
Double
Double
Bubble.
Bubble. Never would have got
Remember that?
Yeah.
It was like
Double.
chalky, you know.
Yeah.
But that was a tough. Oh, some people got it. Actually, they answered
Nice.
correctly on the
Double
chat.
bubble.
Well done.
Good job.
All right, guys. Whoever gets this last one,
Bobalicious.
Bubblicious.
will be Bobalicious. All right, this is it, and this is for the victory. The for 1,000. This is exciting. Okay. Its main plot depicts the courtship of Petruchio and Katharina.
The Merchant of Venice.
Overboard?
Oh, I'm sorry. I
Taming of
revealed
the
it.
Shrew.
Taming of the Shrew. That's what I meant. The Taming of the Shrew.
That's what you meant.
No,
Steve.
you didn't get it. That's it.
No, no one got it.
No, I got it.
I jumped the gun.
I
I jumped,
guessed.
I
Evan
jumped my
failed.
cue
Hey,
there.
I knew it was one of those.
It's okay, Evan. It happens. No worries, bro.
Good job, Bob.
Bob, well done, Bob.
Bob wins. It's
Well,
always
all right.
sunny in Philadelphia. Yep.
Yep.
Yep. That's
Except
it.
there's no the in that.
Nice.
It's always sunny in the Philadelphia.
It's always sunny.
All right.
That was fun.
Wow. Yeah, I haven't done one of those in a long time. That was fun.
Yeah.
Nice.
And it killed like 15 minutes. Awesome. Even better.
Perfect. So if you didn't ask
some-
questions already, go in the live stream Discord chat, please.
Yeah, and in the
I'll
Discord
find
chat, somebody who did
If you have
Pawamina
one, yeah,
put
you
up
can have it.
Who wants
put up one of the comics from the Double Bubble
Oh wow.
bubble
Who
gum
wants to
stuff.
see one of my birthday presents to me?
Sure.
To
Oh,
you?
yeah, we want to see it. The chair.
Let's see it.
Oh no.
So if you're in the Discord and you're looking at that comic strip, you can see it's the dot matrix, right? You can actually see the dots that sort of compose the printing on there, and
Classic
that's
style.
so
Yeah.
and it bleeds over, and
Mm-hmm.
the
That's pretty
printing
good.
is always imperfect on that stuff. That is retro.
All right. Well, while Bob's away, if you can meet any person in history who would you absolutely not want to meet for fear that they wouldn't live up to your expectations?
That's a good question.
That's an interesting twist on it.
Not want to meet. I'll have to think about that for a moment.
All right, kids. This is one of my birthday presents to me. What's it? What, we working on a question here?
No, go ahead. You could show it while we're thinking.
Bob, we were just waiting for you.
Yeah. Oh.
Wow.
Such a Bob.
There's nothing,
thing.
there's nothing that says happy birthday like getting you
No.
a headstone,
That is tombstone. This is
Like happy death day.
a very good quality Grandin Road tombstone.
What material is that made of, Bob?
It's like a hard, like hydra stone or something. That'll last for quite a few years. It's not.
It's not that styrofoam stuff that kind
No.
about that material.
No, it's
right?
solid. It's solid. It's going to be in my front yard cemetery or graveyard this year.
Wow.
So that'll be. Plus, I'm going to be making a lot of styrofoam tombstones. There's some techniques out there that styrofoam looks like it's 100-year-old stonework. They're just so good, so good. But this one, I couldn't make one that complex.
Mm-hmm.
These fun little projects.
Well, someone definitely had you in mind with that birthday gift. That's for sure. I mean,
Well, I know me so well that I knew exactly what to
Oh,
get.
you got it yourself. I see. Yeah.
But one that I did not anticipate was from Liz. she got me a Disney Universal trip in September, right after the start of the Halloween season in Disney and Universal.
Whoa.
So Disney does a huge, Disney does their famous makeover of the Magic Kingdom, and the Haunted House does their Jack Skellington overlay, which I've been wanting to see for ever since day one, for years. Never seen it in up close and in person. And Universal Studios does their Universal Horror Nights, Halloween Horror Nights, and so they've got like 10 like really sweet, scary, like adult scary haunted houses and other activities at their Universal Studios park. And I'm just like, I'm chomping at the bit because I love Disney and Halloween, so I'm just going to be losing my shit.
I believe you mean champing at the bit. Excuse me.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, that's correct.
Is that the correct term?
I think you said that on the show, actually, right?
Yeah.
Champing versus chomping?
Champing.
Everybody says chomping.
I know.
Yeah.
I don't even know what champing
champs?
is. I think champ is similar, though, right? Is it grinding or something?
Is it?
Who knows?
Well, all I know is the proof is in the pudding, right, Steve?
There you go.
Another good one.
The question that we were asked was a living or dead, who is somebody that you would not want to meet for fear that they wouldn't live up to your expectations?
Yikes.
If you want to ponder on that one. That
maybe Einstein.
Yeah, sure.
Maybe Einstein.
Yeah, I was thinking of him.
Because he's so, I mean, he's massive on so many scales as far as a person of the human race. I don't see how the chances of it being something less, being somehow something a little diminished by, maybe he has bad breath or something. He would fall off that pedestal, that highest of highest pedestals.
I've got one. What's his name? Isaac Newton.
Yeah.
Because
I don't really have high expectations for him. Though.
Yeah, that's it. My expectations are not high, but I don't know how the average person would feel who just know him as the mythological Isaac Newton. But from what I've read, he was an asshole. He was just a dick. Although you could argue that he is arguably one of the most intelligent, brilliant historical figures ever. I mean, if you looked at his accomplishments and the sweep, the breadth of major discoveries over, mathematics, physics, astronomy, you name it. It's hard for anybody to compare. I mean, Einstein was up there as well, but some people would say he was even more intelligent than Einstein.
Didn't he invent calculus in his 20s? I mean, how unbearable would he be in his 20s?
Oh, he
did math. I was like, okay, bro, shut up.
From what I read, he's not a good dude. Not
I'm sure. Person. Even for the time, perhaps, but yeah.
I've heard more than one story about Johnny Carson being a real not pleasant person. And unless if you were not in his circle, kind of like Randy, because Randy was one of his close friends whom he treated like gold, then he would not give you wouldn't want to know you, wouldn't want to give you the time of day, and was just rude and obnoxious and like you're a fly, get away from me.
Get away from me, kid! You're bothering me.
That's what I heard a couple of different things. So that would be unfortunate because I like Johnny Carson certainly, and he was a good he was actually a good skeptic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So again, I don't really have any expectations about him being anything other than a privileged celebrity.
Yeah.
Here's one, Steven Seagal.
You're picking people are jerks.
Yeah,
Okay.
Who
it would be fun to hang out.
Maybe they're not a jerk, but then you're worried you would be disappointed that they are. That's
I hear you. But I was just reading about him. I was just reading about Seagal and how it's generally a lot of people consider that his hosting of Saturday Night Live was probably the worst of all time.
At least it's memorable.
Totally humorless and difficult to deal with, and just a big jerk that nobody liked. from SGU, when he did it back in the day.
There was a show he was on.
Any
Where
other
he
questions?
did ride-alongs where he said he was a cop for like 20 years or something like that, and he did all these ride-alongs in this TV show on. It's terrible. It's like one of the worst reality TV shows. Anyway, just if anybody wants to go down that Steven Seagal, minefield. Anyway, let's see. If you had unlimited budget for one event, what would you add to Nauticon? That's an interesting.
Whoa.
I mean, if unlimited budget, I would bring in celebrities. But not TV celebrities, whatever. But like celebrity scientists and people like that, intellectuals.
But if we did, we'd need a new venue.
We need a new venue, and
yeah,
it would be more like a con than not a con.
Mm-hmm.
In a way. So
yeah, that would be good. What else could we do? We could have it catered with the most amazing food.
Yeah, we could have it catered.
Yes, that I would like.
MSG, Madison Square Garden. That's where they want us to go. Yeah,
let's go to MSG.
Yeah,
SGU
that would be expensive.
That would be.
Steve,
I think, right?
Are we still considering at Nauticon Bob's Halloween Corner? That idea was that?
I don't know that we've definitively rejected that idea.
I don't know if it's met the chopping block yet.
The idea is that we would have an area in the room where it was just like basically here's some things that I created this Halloween, and and you could be used for a selfie spot or whatever.
Yeah.
I just didn't see that on the list last time I looked as a thing.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if Jay nixed it.
Well, we need. We should have another meeting when Jay gets back. We got to have an update meeting.
Yeah.
Because it's coming up November 3rd and 4th of this year in White Plains, New York.
That's true.
Last I heard, ticket sales were robust.
Mm-hmm.
And I know there was a block of. I think the hotel said they were going to hold 180 rooms tops for people.
That's
and
right.
I know we were, we're not quite there yet, but approaching that number. So people were
I'll
thinking
put up a link just here
wanting
if
to be
anybody's
there.
listening or watching the YouTube.
So if you are going to Nauticon and you
might sell out
and you really want to see Bob's Halloween Corner, then maybe send an email and say, hey, I demand this. I don't know where I heard it from. I didn't hear Bob say it on the live stream, but I heard it and I want it.
Yeah, it's the only reason for showing up. They say
Just
that.
throwing that out there.
All right, this is the registration. Here comes the book a room link if you want that one as well.
Mm-hmm.
There you
Excellent.
go. Steve's phone is ringing. Let me mute him real quick.
Hello,
Kirk here.
Kirk
here.
I'm just gonna toggle him off for just a second.
Get him out of here. Get him out.
Thing.
He's out.
He's out of here. He's
being Bob now.
That's right.
Just us. We're gonna talk more
thank you for the super chat. I love you guys. That is.
There was a super chat. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. Appreciate that.
Who? Derek.
From Derek. Yeah.
Thanks, Derek.
Sweet.
You're awesome.
You're
awesome. I hope, Derek, we see you at Nauticon so we can also thank you in person. Because we're going to thank so many people who are going to be there for their continued support of Skeptic's Guide to the Universe. You guys are rock solid.
That's right.
Rock solid.
Somebody gave us a recommendation. Have they heard of Mini Minuteman? He makes videos debunking ridiculous archaeology claims on YouTube. He's coming out with a book soon. He could be a good interview.
That would be good. And we haven't talked about archaeology much lately.
Yeah.
In the show. That was a subject we would cover regularly. We used to have Ken Fader. You'd never came on the Skeptic's Guide, I don't think. Did we interview Ken Fader? No, Ken Fader was on at some point. Steve, did we ever interview Ken Fader back in the day?
I'm back.
Did we ever interview Kenny Fader for SGU?
Yep.
For SGU?
Yeah,
I think we did early on. So someone was saying there's what's his name?
Mini Minuteman. Mini Minuteman.
Mini Minuteman.
debunks archaeology claims, ridiculous archaeology claims.
We haven't delved into many archaeological
that'd be an interesting
claims
one.
lately.
Yeah,
That's
send us
always
the info.
that's always fascinating to me. I love that stuff.
And a brief aside, as I was listening to the older episodes, I came across the first time I think Captain D was on the show, which was 2008, I think, or 7.
Yeah.
He mentions he had 5,000 subscribers. So look at him, where he's grown to.
Back in the day.
Yeah, it's 5,500 now.
So yeah, 55. That's right. A couple more. Make sure to like.
Alan's a good man.
Alan, yeah. So that was a good. So listen to that episode. It's very good. Let me see. We got other questions. Thank you for that suggestion. I'm gonna leave it pinned so I can remember it. Do you have
question? The dates for my haunted house. It's basically the last half of October. Friday. It's every Friday and Saturday. Go to forcetoFear.org if you want more details. But it's the last half of October. But there's about 6 nights or so. It's awesome. It's awesome.
Okay, another question. Do you have any indulgent personal habits and or products that you use, i.e. high-end soap that you know you're probably overpaying for, but it makes you feel good? Are you on the frugal train? I don't know. Comparison.
Indulgence, huh? Trying to think.
No.
I'll buy ridiculously expensive video games.
It's July.
Aren't they? Wow.
Yeah. I don't know if indulgences. Not on a regular basis. Maybe for a special occasion or something, a food or a gourmet chocolate or something that costs $28 a pound or something, whatever. But other than that, not on a regular basis. Not really.
Yeah. It's funny you mentioned chocolate because a lot of people in my experience, people from Europe think that American chocolate is just shit. And I, in my anecdotal experience of taste, if sometimes they'll bring it look at this chocolate from my country, and it's generally
sure. I mean, yeah,
very, very good. But it's kind of depressing to think that our chocolate is just not high quality chocolate. And it's frustrating.
You know what?
Are they thinking Hershey's? I mean, is that
Hershey's? I looked into it a little bit, and apparently, when it first Hershey's came around, they were using sour milk or soured milk, and that's like the flavor on purpose. And now they use something similar to that gives that sour flavor. So it's like intentionally flavored, kind of sour. Somebody in the chat back us up if that's true, as opposed to European chocolate, which is probably not.
It says Hershey's tastes like vomit. So
yes, because it's butyl acid. Somebody just said is the problem, and that comes from sour milk. Now they just add butyl acid. You know what I mean?
Why go? Yeah, when you can
make it the sour milk thing.
You can have the sour milk taste made in the lab. That's easier. Do it that way.
So essentially, it's sour chocolate, I guess. I don't know. Not sure what vomit you're eating.
No, yeah, there's a wide variety of chocolate quality. That's for certain. I'm not claiming any kind of expertise in any of that, but I mean, I taste it. I can definitely taste differences in my chocolate. Steve's a super taster. I have no idea what your experience with that is, Steve.
I mean, it doesn't apply because it's nothing in chocolate that I super taste. But you could tell that Swiss chocolate is creamier, than Hershey's chocolate.
Yeah,
good. They're all different varieties of good, though, in my opinion.
Yeah,
I wouldn't say, "Oh, this is shit." It's not great chocolate. It's all fucking chocolate.
Ooh, I've had some that's been bad.
We're used to it, and that's definitely a thing. It's kind of
I guess so.
Like sex is, all sex is good, even bad sex is good sex, kind of thing. But but also it makes me think though. Does that mean that a Reese's peanut butter cup doesn't taste good? Because that's bullshit. I mean, I don't care. If it's low quality chocolate, fine. But when you mix it with stuff like peanut butter, I still would say most Reese's peanut butter products are heaven.
The magic of sugar.
Sorry, I'm just practicing medicine while we're talking.
Just saving the lives here.
Just the wonders of this is the best thing about online records. I can go onto a patient's chart right now and do stuff,
Without HIPAA violations, right?
Yeah, it's all secure. It's all
Good.
through the L Secure connection.
Hey, who wants to see?
Okay, it's
No.
butyric acid. Is that right?
Butyric acid, sure.
Is that, not
Tear gas acid, sure.
Whatever I said.
Hot off the presses, Jay is about to take off right now with his wife. Here's Jay on the plane.
Oh my gosh, on the flight
right now.
Tell them to look for lizard people. See if there's anybody in the back.
Yeah, I'm surprised though. I thought their travel day was yesterday. They've been
it's today.
No, it's
what did they do yesterday?
Oh, they just blew you off. I guess they were just like, no, we're not hanging out with.
Oh, I guess I was
probably packing and all that stuff.
All right,
everyone's packing.
All right. Well, hope they have a great time.
Well, I think we saw some of the gifts, but Bob, what else did you get for your birthday? Somebody was asking.
Some of it we got some donations for the Florida trip. So that's thanks to all the people that donated a little bit. That was fantastic. Liz also gave me a picture book of us and things that we've done for the past 10 years, our various trips together. That was wonderful. And the chair Steve got me, of course, was fantastic. That chair was actually so solid and heavy that I needed help bringing it up the stairs. So I had Liz's mom help me bring it upstairs.
And did you have to assemble it, or was it self-assembled?
Oh yeah, you had to assemble it, but it took a half hour, no problem. But it's solid, man. It's just like you could put that in a rocket ship, and I would be like, yeah, this would fit. It would be hardy enough. Did you see this one? This is from Does It? Did you get any donations to send Bob somewhere else for the eclipse so he doesn't ruin it for you?
We are taking a chance here, Bob.
Hey man, you are taking it. I would, if the donations were high enough, I would consider it. But it would take a lot because I'm looking forward to going and seeing.
It'll be good.
The cloudy skies in Texas.
Oh, please, Bob, stop. No. It is going to be a spectacular day, spectacularly clear
skies,
and you're gonna have as close to a religious experience as you probably ever had.
Oh my God, I could absolutely.
I kid you not.
There with the Statue of David, the Saturn V, and the bridge of the classic Enterprise, original Enterprise, and then an eclipse, total eclipse. I could see that absolutely being up there.
Oh, it's going to be. It's practically indescribable. I mean, really, the pictures and the videos and everything don't do it justice, unfortunately. And there are some beautiful pictures and beautiful videos of it all. And it doesn't scratch the surface. It's the experience. You can feel the temperature drop, as the shadow comes. It's so cool.
even a VR, a VR experience would not quite be there. It'd be better than a movie or any picture, but even that still wouldn't quite duplicate it.
You'll see the birds, Steve. You're going to see the birds in the area come back to their nests. As they're tricked basically into thinking, oh my gosh, it's where the sun is saying it's nighttime. I got to get down. Birds land to the ground. They go to their nests. It's just such a surreal thing to have experienced. And my gosh, I'm so looking forward to sharing it with you guys, and however many of our audience can come to Texas and be with us.
Somebody said we have to get barbecue, Texas barbecue, I guess.
We were just speaking with Kara about
if people know of a spot. I guess it's
there are spots. Right? Kara has actually already planned out
she's planning
the two places barbecue that she says are musts in her book. And
I hope they have a barbecue eggplant, because that's all I mean.
Thank you, Double Blue.
Limited on that. Mitch asks, would Steve cut a watermelon with his samurai sword for the next big stream?
Would Ian?
I don't know if we want that to go.
I would. Where would I do it?
I mean, we could
do it in my office.
Basement.
Yeah, I got to go
in the
someplace.
basement.
I go outside. Do it.
Yeah, it would be outside.
For the next, like, for the 24-hour show or the 2 12-hour shows.
Yeah,
maybe
we'll
we can
put it
figure
in the cube next time if there's an appropriate
It's a
venue.
good idea.
That is a good idea.
Of course, it's a good idea.
Just have more than 1 million standing by in case.
Hey, Steve, we got the Strange New World drop. When does that drop? Is that Thursday or
Thursday?
Oh, it's already there.
Yeah,
Episode 4.
yeah. I watched it already.
Oh,
All right, no words.
he's ahead of you.
Watch that.
He's
And we got a new Silo episode tonight.
Yeah,
No,
what are
we
you talking about?
don't, because the season's over.
Yeah, it's over.
No.
Oh,
Silo,
psych.
man. I don't want to wait. Damn it. But I got it.
I remember last week I asked you what was in this box.
What's in the box? It's a head.
What color is it, first of all?
Brown.
The bra. Whatever's in there is colored black.
Black.
This is the box. Any guesses as to what this might be? I can't. If I show any of the other sides, I think it reveals information about
Phone.
what it is. Not a phone. No.
Phone.
Any other guesses?
Um,
We'll let it sit there for a minute. Let's see what people say. See if I can give any hints about
A
what is
Walkman.
Oh, that would be retro. And
Yeah.
no, it's not. It has nothing to do with music.
Okay.
Let me see.
If people can read backwards, they can
What
figure it
kind
out.
of hint could I give that wouldn't totally give it away? I have a pretty broad hint. Yeah, Mike Bauer. Very good. That's exactly what it is. Do you guys see what Mike Bauer said?
No,
You didn't? You're not paying attention to every chat? in the
I'm
chat?
not.
It's a scale.
it's
Somebody.
a dragon scale.
It is a scale. It is a milligram scale.
Oh.
See?
Oh. What are you weighing in milligrams? That's
Ooh, what am
perfectly
I
legal.
weighing? In fact, yes. So what I am weighing is I've taken a recent interest in coins,
Oh.
and part of the adventure of going through your coins to see if you've got any
Amazing.
special coins are the ones that are the incorrect weight for the designated year. In other words, there are misstrikes and there are a bunch of other things. But part of it is sometimes they'll use in these years in which they transition the weights officially from one to the other is they'll use some of the old inventory and it gets through. And sometimes it gets through many years later, like 7 or 8 years later for some reason. So you'll have a penny, for example, that's supposed to weigh 2.8 grams or something, or 2.5 grams after a certain date. But after that date, like you find one that weighs 3.1 grams. And like, that's it, that's like worth, depending on the condition and stuff, it's worth a lot of money. Lots of money.
Wow.
More than a penny.
So even though visually it's identical, it's just purely its weight.
You have to weigh them. You have to weigh them because because 99.99999% of them are the correct weight, but some get through using the old weight and get struck and go into circulation, and boom, those are the ones worth a lot of money. So
is that just somebody pressing the wrong button? Like how?
yeah, that's a good question. I've never
asleep on the job.
I haven't delved into exactly how how a mistake like that gets through in the mint, but there are multiple mints throughout the country that do them. There's Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco are the three I'm aware of. I'm not sure if there are others that have struck coins for the United States. And depending, I suppose, on the inventory of what you had at each of these sites will determine probably the frequency of or how likely it is that you'll find a misstrike. And any pennies, for example, with the letter D under the date, it means the Denver mint, and S means the San Francisco mint. And San Francisco is the rarest of them because I think those are considered not the proofs, and they're colored kind of a little bit differently, so those stand out. I've yet to come across one, but so I'm like, I better start weighing these things because it's one thing to visually inspect them for the things that make these coins collectible, but they also say you have to weigh them. So I spent $20 and got a scale.
How accurate is the scale? Well,
to the
Tenth of a million.
0.001. So what is that? The thousandth?
Yeah.
Is that the thousandth of a gram? So that's correct. They say you want to have at least to the 100th, but if you can get to the 1,000th, that's even better.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
I have a digital scale that I use to weigh bread and ingredients.
Yeah,
Yeah,
food
ingredients,
is
yeah.
yeah. Someone's asking, what's
Bread
my most
seems like-
expensive coin and where did I get it?
Ooh.
Well, I don't know. The rarest coin, well, rare. I don't know how to classify it, but I technically inherited it without knowing it. And it was in a bag of coins from Jennifer's mother had it, and she died a few years ago. So for some reason we had a bunch of old coins of hers and stuff. And in there, I don't have it, is a 1943 Pfennig from Germany. And it's got the swastika and everything on there. So to have a Nazi coin is,
yeah,
right. So I don't know. I'm not really sure how that gets.
I think you're just not allowed to sell it now.
I mean, no. Well, you can't sell it. I don't know if you can sell it in Germany or some places where things like that are.
No, that's true.
Banned,
that's probably true.
Evan, what would you do with silver coins? Or I guess it depends on the price of silver.
Yeah, I mean that's part of it. I mean, the coin itself there's a lot of features, and I've been watching tons of YouTube videos a lot lately about coins and how they're valued and stuff. So many different things go into the valuing what makes a coin valuable. Yes, you could have a 1964 quarter, which was made mostly of silver at the time, and yes, if it's in great condition, it's obviously going to, the less it was circulated and scratched up and everything and dinged up, that's going to be worth more, because those are rare. Yeah. They get graded. You should it costs money to have certain coins graded. So unless you're really sure that you've got something that will be graded pretty highly, you don't want to spend all your money. But it's mostly it has to do with defects and striking errors that have occurred during the process, like double lettering, or something got, like, one of the characters in one of the words gets tilted, or the numbers and the years got too crushed too close together. And you should some crazy prices people pay for those kinds of collectibles, but they're so rare that your chances of you actually having them are low. But it's the kind of thing where I've got all these coins from all these years, just I've seen people at home with their jugs like stand 3 feet tall on the ground, and all they do is they put their coins in there forever and ever. I mean, there's got thousands upon thousands of coins in there. Yeah, you never know, you may have something that might be worth something good. But yeah, the silver Morgan dollars are pretty special. And certainly, age, older is better, and condition. Age and condition are two of the main factors.
Tis, Derek. Very, very, yeah, okay. You see that Derek's pun? Alexa says, according to It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, it's illegal to have that Nazi coin. Yes, always get your morals and legality from It's Always Sunny. Let's see, what did we have? Oh, we had one more question about the chair that Bob got. What chair did Bob get? Like, if you could name it. And how much time does Steve save not having to try and edit out the squeaks?
What was the first question?
Brand name.
What brand name, yeah. What was the chair?
It's a Secret Lab, right? Or the Secret?
Yeah.
And it's the same one I have. Yeah. Secret Lab. It saves me a little bbit of time, because the thing is, I generally will silence everybody's track when they're not speaking. So because again, there's 5 tracks. That's a lot of noise. Even a little bit of noise on each person's track adds up to a lot of background noise. So I try to silence everyone's track. Evan, you have by far the noisiest track.
Oh, do I?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. Part of it is because you have a lot of background noise, but also you tend to make a lot of those brief responses more than everybody else. Like, oh yeah, right. Like you're constantly doing that, which is fine. But I do have to get rid of a lot of it because it's just too much. Again, it's just too
considered okay.
Well, it doesn't mean stuff I have to silence. When I say noise,
I understand.
Stuff I have to silence.
Right. Unusable material.
Yeah, because like if someone's talking for a few minutes, and there's on the other 4 tracks, I have to decide, is there anything worth keeping on them? If not, I can just silence the 3 minutes. It's a lot faster than having to go in and leave every little bit in there.
Every utterance.
The problem with Bob's squeaking is that Bob would squeak while he's talking, which I can't silence. And your squeaking would increase when you're talking. Because I guess you move around more.
Gesticulating.
I don't know, but just your squeaking level would go way up when you start talking, and there's very little I could do about that because you're talking.
Yeah. Well, won't happen anymore. I promise.
Yep.
Until it starts again.
Right.
All right.
Arno, we see your comment, Arno. If you're the Cyborg patron, is that you could be at least that level and get access to the Discord, and then you can log in through that. But we see you over there on Facebook. Don't worry, even though the majority of people are on YouTube. Anyway, no, I think that means that Steve listens to every single one of Evan's puns.
I do.
There you go. He hears them all, Evan.
If I do make a pun, it probably shows up on the physically as something Steve can identify that is more than just a.
I can identify when you've actually said something.
Right.
Yeah.
Like there definitely is, a threshold where like there's actual content versus just a like or whatever. That's not content, and I leave some of that in too because it sounds like there are people there. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's just
which is better.
Oh, it's always good.
Yeah, I just take out some of it because it's just easier. But if you actually say something, I always listen. I listen to 100% of what people say when I edit the show. But I pick up a lot of your Popeye puns. You know how Popeye would just like mumbling under his breath and throwing things in there. You have to be paying attention. So you do a lot of that. I usually pick them up, but I definitely pick up more when I'm doing the editing. And then I decide. Like sometimes, like 3 people are talking at once. And I have to decide, well, who am I going to leave in and who am I going to edit out? And sometimes I'll separate them. You know what I mean?
Oh, and trick. Put them in a place where it's not speaking over each other.
Exactly.
So clever.
But a lot of times the talking over each other is a false start, meaning like if Bob and Kara start speaking at the same time, one of them will stop and let the other person finish. So that's a false start. Like he starts to say a sentence and then stops. And then he'll say the whole sentence over after. You know what I mean? So I always get rid of that, that, or mostly always. I just delete the false starts. Anyway.
And Steve, one thing I think you dislike, if I recall, is when the false starts happen and then you'll say like, Bob, go ahead and say it. And then Bob, for example, would say what I was going to say.
Right. I'm just going to say, but I beat that out of you guys a decade ago. Like you don't do that anymore. You really don't.
Oh, that's good.
I broke you of that habit a long time ago. But who does it now are guests who are not used to it. And I was just going to say, but no, just say it. Just say what you're doing. Clean. That's also just a professionalism thing. Like people who know what they're doing know that you just give a clean start. Yeah, just give me a clean start. Yeah. And that makes it easier to edit.
But
you have to beat more of our guests.
Yeah, you got to beat them more.
Yep.
Does Evan go to the penalty box?
No, but you do.
Yeah, you're banned.
Yeah, it's after 6:30, isn't it?
Oh yeah, we got.
Oh my God, 6:30. We got to go.
We got dinner. We
need to eat some food.
All right, y'all.
All right.
Thanks for
Thanks for joining us.
That's right. We'll see you next
probably
week.
be here next week. Yeah, no Jay again. Maybe
will
we'll
not be
even
here
try to
next-
get a guest. So, you know, if you
I'll
have
be
any
here.
suggestions for who you'd like to see on the live stream next week, let
definitely.
us know.
Yep.
Yeah.
I will not be here next Friday. I'll be in New York City with my family.
Not Trump. We won't have Trump on.
Nope.
Yeah.
No.
Not Evan either, I guess. So
I mean, I honestly,
not be
if Trump
available
would
soon.
do our live stream, I would 100%.
Of course you would.
Yeah,
Of course you would.
Get the next
Okay.
best thing,
Crazy.
Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
Oh Lord.
But right. But that would be a surreal experience.
Oh yeah.
Could you imagine editing him?
most surreal, yes.
Excuse
Guy
me.
is so
Excuse me.
incoherent.
That would be wild. That would be wild. Oh my gosh.
That's a good one.
Imagine what we could get him to say. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like if we were just subtly trying to like steer him into certain, provoke him into saying certain things.
And then
sure.
Be an interesting challenge.
they used our interview at some of his trials.
Oh gosh.
That's marketing. That's good.
Oh, totally. What can we get him to confess to? Yeah, that's really all right,
folks.
everyone.
All
Have
right.
a good
And
weekend.
we'll be live on TikTok on Wednesday, so make sure
Yep.
to
See
Oh,
you
really?
next
all that stuff.
Wednesday.
Oh, and we do have a Threads, which is the new Twitter alternative that is
Yes,
run by Facebook.
We are.
Evil Facebook, but what are you gonna
We're a slave to fashion, so we're
do?
just,
Yeah,
we're doing threads
one way or
now.
another.
Okay, let's do
Yeah.
threads.
Yeah, whatever it is.
What are the kids doing these days? All right.
Yeah, right.
Exactly.
Face
Activity
space, my time. What?
The stitching on threads.
Yes, exactly. All right.
That whole
Thanks,
telegraph
Ian.
thing is
Bye-bye,
catching
Thanks,
on.
everyone.
Hey, have
Yeah.
a good weekend.
Good weekend.
Bye.
Skeptic's Guide to the Universe is produced by SGU Productions, dedicated to promoting science and critical thinking. For more information, visit us at theskepticsguide.org. Send your questions to info@theskepticsguide.org. And if you would like to support the show and all the work that we do, go to patreon.com/skepticsguide and consider becoming a patron and becoming part of the SGU community. Our listeners and supporters are what make SGU possible.
Oh,
It's Evan through the looking glass.
whoa.
Gotta have one of these in your arsenal. Okay, especially if you're
Coining.
going bad, like
Oh.
like me. You have a magnifying glass with illumination. Helps for lots of different things, including coins, by the way. So for the extra, thank you for joining us on the Post Extreme show. Ian, thank you so much. Appreciate you making this happen.
Of course.
Jay's on a plane somewhere, and he normally does this with me.
It's all Greek to me.
But it's just you and me today. Ian, we're doing an unboxing.
Oh.
We're doing an unboxing of the Maxis Premium Milligram Scale.
The
For the benefit of those of you at home. Because I have not opened this since I got it last week. It arrived last Friday, and I said I was going to hold on to it. So I actually haven't been able to weigh anything for a whole week. All right. So
that book in the background is The Skeptic's Guide to the Universe, available now at fine bookstores everywhere.
Right there.
They're right there.
Right there. There it
That's
is.
one I assume you're talking about.
Mini
Unboxing.
games.
Yes, this is a YouTube.
All right.
The naughty kids stay back in class. That's right. Only 200 naughty children.
All right. Oops. Let's see. Okay. So what fell out are 2 batteries.
Hey,
Okay.
2 batteries.
Size AAA they appear to be, which is nice. And the manufacturer is LYW, that household brand name of batteries.
LYW.
Forget Everready and
Classic.
the Energizer. LYW. Yeah. Made in
Oh,
China.
remember the batteries that you would press to see how much was left on the battery?
Yeah. Duracell used to have,
that. Yeah. Classic.
That was a neat feature. All right. So in here it is. I'll packed up in awful plastic, and we have a USB connection with looks like a What do you call that connector? I forget. It's
micro. Yeah, it's micro USB.
That's micro. Okay,
I think.
micro USB.
It looks like it. Yeah, I don't know.
We have
yeah.
tweezers.
Oh, very nice. I'll put up the QR code one more time. I see somebody scanning.
Right.
Let's see. Here's the QR code.
We have here a Mickey Mouse something. No, it's a dish. It's a cup
dish
for weighing. For putting your material, your coin or your
so that you can tear
gold or whatever it is you're weighing. Your illicit substances, whatever it is you're going to weigh. I didn't know.
Zinc is illicit. He's talking about zinc.
Here is a
sure.
What do you call that? Even it's a spoon, but it's not a spoon. It's a bucket at the end of a bucket. At the end of a stirrer, right? Ian? It looks like a stirrer. Inside joke. So I guess for dust, gold dust or whatever you're doing. If you're
dusting,
if you're on that show Gold Rush, you ever watch that? Where they go mining for gold, and you have to.
I prefer
that comes off. All right, and now we get to the good stuff.
A scoop. Yeah, that's a good point. It's a scoop.
All right, we have one standard Maxis user manual.
Hey.
Of which I will read. I do read
English and Spanish and French
manuals. Oh, let's see how many languages we have here. We have definitely English.
Good start.
All English. No, it is all English. So,
whoops. Well,
interesting.
Rip international users and buyers.
Yeah. Interesting.
Fortunately.
Well. All right, here it is. Wrapped in yet another piece of plastic. Sorry, environment. I apologize. And there it is. So we have a cover for it. It's the actual scale. And what do we have here? Oh, this is protection for shipping purposes. The piece of
always use protection
material. And there it is. And then it'll have a digital display here, some basic buttons. It's a $20 scale. It's like nothing. But
they have a little piece of plastic on the scale.
You mean like where in the battery compartment? Or?
Oh no, I meant in the front with the display.
Oh right, yeah, the little covering, like
the little covering,
sort of remove. Peel off. No, it looks like it's exposed. So that's where they save the money.
That's true.
Otherwise, it would have cost $38 to have those sorts of amenities. To have all more plastic to protect your investment here. And the battery compartment, obviously, it does. Yes, it looks like it's going to hold the batteries. There's nothing else really in there. So that's it. I'm going to fire this thing up later tonight. Get it going.
The company is based out of South China. You mean Taiwan?
Is it?
Yeah. I mean.
Oh, yeah, right. Whatever they say in the map. Whole thing. Yeah. Geopolitical. Very good. So
get back to that scale.
That was the unboxing of premium milligram scale, Maxis premium milligram scale, which I will have hours of fun with. Coins to figure out they are worth simply the face value of the item. But who knows? Maybe I'll come across something that'll be special. If I do, I will certainly share it with you.
That's right.
My friends here in the audience.
Start saving your pennies and send them into heaven.
Yeah. And also I've got some foreign coins here as well that I've come across. I got a whole handful of them. Some of them in pretty good shape. And this one from 1947. Let's see what this one is. 1947. It's in bad shape. No, 1927. I'm sorry. I got a 1927. Whoa. It's a Deutschmark. Yep. 1927.
100 years old almost.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool right there. 1927 Deutschmark. Yeah. So yeah, neat. Good stuff. What else? Someone asked me about martial arts earlier. There was an early question. And I'll just answer that before we go in, if that's all right. Raindrops RS spheroids, not drop shaped, is the name. And I'm looking for the question. It had something to do with what my martial arts training. If you're still there, do you want to retype the question to me?
Was this in Discord?
It's in Discord.
Oh, I didn't see it. I don't know if I got. I don't know if
it's still there. It looks like.
Let's see if it got.
I think it was
real quick.
maybe like what's my takeaway from my experience with having been involved in martial arts for many years. So
let's see.
For
Steven
those...
Seagal, how good?
Just to summarize for those who don't know, I was active in Krav Maga from 2007 until 2014, roughly, and and was very active in it. I was very active with my studio. I actually became certified to do certain levels of teaching within the studio. And so I'll say this about it. It was, there were things that were great about it. So it's wonderful exercise, first of all. There are some practical things about it that I did like, in which, they run through a bunch of scenarios in which, how to protect yourself in a street fight, because that it wasn't for competing in sport. It's more or less, what happens if somebody jumps you and tackles you in the middle of the street? How do you minimize the damage to yourself that you're going to get? Or if somebody attacks you with a knife, how do you minimize those kinds of scenarios? And I also learned a lot about guns, especially pistols, during that time. Basically, how they work, advantages, disadvantages, how to look for certain things when people are wielding these kinds of weapons. So there are some practical things, I think, about it that I've never, fortunately, ever had to utilize in my life, and but I'm glad I did. There are certainly some aspects of it that were crap, not so much. I wouldn't say so much that the Krav Maga stuff that I learned was mostly crap. It was not. I wouldn't classify it. There were some things that they tried to push that tapped into more of a traditional martial arts, because Krav Maga is a lot of kind of different things that took pieces of various martial arts from the fellow who designed the system, and of course it evolved over the course of the last 80 years or so that it's been around. So when it reaches back into those kinds of aspects, about certain older martial arts skills and stuff, that stuff didn't really sit well with me or sell well, and I kind of treat like that as crap. But a part of the marketing of it, there's tons of marketing that goes into all of these martial arts. Obviously they have to sell the products, so that's part of it that I really don't like. But it's not total bunk as the way some of these martial arts, and I'm sure you've seen them, George Dillman on YouTube, among others, in which they're using energy fields and shouting at people in order to blow them back 10 feet and stuff like that, and the ones in which the students all, role play essentially martial arts with the master to make the master look great, and the master will block and they'll fall back, like looking like a horrible, Italian spaghetti Western fight scene kind of corniness to it, that level of stuff. There's all kinds of that out there, and lots of different. So that, fortunately, there's not that going on in martial art in Krav Maga. This was actual grappling skills and real blocking, and real bruises, real cuts, real blood, that and some injuries that I definitely kind of suffered along the way. But I do feel like I came out with more positive than negative from it. And I suffered an injury back in 2014 in my leg, and basically put an end to it. I stopped going for a while I was healing, and then got involved in kind of some other things, and didn't really much go back to it. I still train here at my house, just occasionally, some exercises and stretches and stuff that I still do. But I would not dissuade anyone from necessarily doing it, but definitely, if you're going to do something in martial arts, research it thoroughly before you get into it, because a lot of it is can just be a money sink and useless. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is probably maybe dollar for dollar your best bet if you really want to learn about a martial art that definitely does work. And because I did some of that to a degree. There, again, Krav incorporates lots of different pieces of martial arts, and some of it, especially when the fight goes to the ground, you have to know how to prevent yourself from like getting your head crushed in or choked to death, and
arm bars
those
for
kinds
days.
of things. Yeah. so those are very helpful, and those are the things I still keep with me and in my head. Let's knock wood that I never ever have to use it. So I hope that works. Yeah. How did martial arts impact? Oh, how did martial arts impact my life? Well, in good ways. It was overall positive experience. I lost a lot of weight. When I was at my heaviest, so it was a great way to lose weight, because it's wonderful exercise. So that aspect of it, and it definitely coming in. I'm glad I'm a skeptic going into it. I probably would have fallen for some of the other crap or not realize what some of this stuff was. And I'd say overall, positive. I would say overall positive. It was also my wife Jennifer did it as well, and my daughter Rachel also trained. So it became also a family thing that we did. We hung out at the studio together, so we had quality time there. So overall, very, very positive experience.
That's right.
So I hope that.
But if you're in America, just get a rocket launcher and a cheeseburger. You'd be good. That's fine. You're American rat right there.
All right, Ian, I've taken too much of your time. Thanks for indulging me for these extra 10 minutes. And everyone out there, have a great weekend. I'll not be here next Friday. Hopefully the Friday after that is when I will see you here next time.
That's right.
Bye, everyone.
See you soon. Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye, Ian.